Okay, I don't at all intend to sound conspiratorial when I say this, and I apologize if I do, but I wholeheartedly believe that rail preservation of California passenger locomotives is in trouble. Let me explain. You may be familiar with Caltrain's recent electrification project. This project intended to replace diesel locomotives in daily commuter service between the cities of San Francisco and San Jose, and indeed it has. This rendered all of these diesel locomotives and rolling stock surplus, in need of a new home and a new purpose. After Caltrain's initial intention to sell the locomotives in an inoperable state thanks to stipulations set forth by a state grant, a waiver was settled with the Bay Area Air Quality Management District to secure the retired equipment a new home, in an operable state. The municipality of Peru was to receive the equipment to start up a brand new commuter service. Caltrain's executive director Michelle Bouchard says that the equipment will offer the Peruvians cleaner air for commuters and community members and the access to opportunity that great public transportation provides. The Times-Herald also mentions that the new service will address significant congestion issues in Peru. Whether you believe these statements is up to you, but the point I'm trying to make here is that the trains survived and gained a second life doing their job of moving people. Now, as someone who volunteers at a railroad museum, I'm glad the equipment survived the scrapper's torch, and I think that other railroad equipment should have that door open for anyone willing to take on the task of preserving it in an operable state. However, there's a Senate bill that has progressed a scary amount that, without lots of legal work to reopen that door if the bill was passed with current wording, would shut it for good in the case of other passenger rail equipment here in the state of California. Senate Bill 30 was introduced in response to the now completed deal Caltrain made with the municipality of Peru. The latest amended bill, as of July 16, 2025, summarized by me, requires the publicly operated passenger railroad, and whoever will be sold or donated the diesel-powered rail equipment whose engines are Tier 2, 3, or 4, to have a public hearing about it before the transaction, but if the engine is Tier 0 or 1, the engine block must be removed from the shell before selling or donating the husk of a locomotive to its new owner after a public hearing about it. If this bill passes as it is, any chances of saving an operational locomotive all comes down to its emissions tier, meaning that all of the locomotives I've listed here on the screen are only allowed to be preserved inoperable after a public hearing. I also don't think it's likely that every museum in California will want to have to settle with preserving a cab car disguised as a locomotive, similar to the current state of the preserved coaster F40s down in Southern California. And I don't want the future of rail preservation for all current Tier 0 or 1 passenger diesels in California to have to be like this for every case going forward. Another example is the recent Caltrain equipment lease to Capitol Quarter. Hey, look that up, that's happening too! At the end of this 5-year lease though, Caltrain will consider transferring the ownership of that equipment to Caltrans. But with this bill in effect, after that 5-year lease, because ownership is being transferred, the engine blocks or even the entire locomotives may not have that happy an ending. This bill has already passed the Senate, so it's only down to the state assembly and the governor for any changes before it becomes finalized law. I now call on anyone with any interest in the preservation of any diesel-powered passenger locomotives in the Golden State to please write your assembly member. Tell them your situation and that you'd like to see more leniency for working Tier 0 and 1 locomotives being donated to museums. It's only a matter of time before it's too late to take civic action. Thank you for watching this video. I don't like to get deep into law or politics, but it's kind of hard not to do so when the state you live in is making your favorite vehicles illegal to operate. Again, write to your assembly person, please. And my next video will be about something else. I don't know what it is just yet, but keep your eyes peeled. Get that notification bell turned on, like, subscribe, do all the stuff. And thank you for watching once more. Write your assembly person. Goodbye.